We missed you.
Yeah, welcome back, folks.
Hi.
Welcome to How to Handyma'am, the podcast where we tell you how wide to open your wallet. In this episode, we talk about our favorite podcasts that you should check out, Bears, and More Bears, and what's happened in the 2 weeks since we last recorded. I'm Samantha.
I'm Arly.
And I'm Emily, and this is How to Handyma'am. And this episode is dedicated to my mother-in-law, Jeannie, who is about a year post beating cancer, and she is so badass, but she's also just like such a vulnerable person and is always willing to like talk about what's going on in her life. And she talks about her therapist, and like I just admire her like open honesty, and she's just a delight to be around. Plus I'm proud of her for kicking cancer's ass, because that was hard, and she took it on with so much grace. And so this one is for you, Jeannie. Love you lots.
This one's for you.
F cancer.
Yeah, for real.
All right, let's do this.
All right, let's do it.
You got a text from a fellow handy person that I wanted, a handyma'am, that I wanted to bring up, that I loved, that she said she loved that we brought femininity to construction. And I just briefly wanted to touch on that because I think it's really important to enter the trades or the space that you're in, or relationships with contractors, or all the things we always say, being exactly who you are.
Yeah.
And the three of us tend to be pretty feminine, which is fine, but also there's women who work for us who are way less feminine than us, and there's...
That's fine, too.
Yeah, and so I think it's a good thing, first of all, that we represent being pretty feminine in the trades, and like we don't have to be like our male counterparts.
Yeah, you don't have to pretend to be a guy to work in the trades.
But also just that someone noticed that and said that, and I thought that was really sweet. And
also, I mean, we've talked about like villages and being a girl's girl a lot over the last 9 episodes or 10 episodes. But her name is Tracy Germer, and she is Asheville Handyma'am. So she is also amazing, and she's been so, like, from the moment I've met her, she's just been so encouraging and enthusiastic, just like another person that we can go, yay, let's fangirl together about being in the trade. So she's just super fun and really supportive, and it's nice to have women in your life who understand what you're going through and are just, like, they're here for it.
Yeah. I love
I
that.
have another woman topic, speaking of femininity.
Yeah.
I have to say something really quick.
Okay.
Guys, I just ate a bonbon, and I did not know that it was going to be spicy. I thought it was going to be so sweet and delicious, and then at first I was like, this kind of tastes weird. And then after a minute I was like, my mouth is on fire!
That would be Mexican hot chocolate.
Yeah.
Chocolate.
That's spicy.
Yeah, and then I ate another one.
She's
I
like,
didn't help.
this is unpleasant. Let me eat a second one.
No, she didn't
It
eat
was a different
another one.
flavor.
Yeah.
But another spicy one?
No, it was
Oh.
a different flavored one.
Oh.
And that made it better, but like every once in a while it's like So anyway, go on with your
Okay,
talk.
this will be really brief, but I got my first ever pap smear at 27, and I know I should have gotten it a lot sooner.
Yes, you should.
But it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, and this is my reminder to go get yours.
It's important.
Because it's better to have a few awkward moments than cervical cancer.
Yes, I will say, like, cancer screenings. I mean, in our family, Emily and I's family, we have about every form of cancer you can think of.
The doctor was like, has anyone in your family had this cancer? Yes.
Yep.
This cancer?
Yep.
Yep.
This one? Yep, 2 of them. Yeah, so it's important to get it because a lot of cancers, if they're caught early, can be successfully, like, eradicated. So,
Yeah, and I also feel like a lot of women's health, we like kind of like demonize, and we're like, ooh, it's embarrassing to have a pap smear. Ooh,
I mean,
it's embarrassing.
it is embarrassing.
Well, yeah, but like also it should be more normal.
embarrassing. It's slightly uncomfortable.
It's uncomfortable, and I think it should just be more normalized.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of weird to be like, hello, stranger.
Here's my JJ.
Well, for me, it helps
Look at my cooch.
to have a female provider.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
And the ones I've had all good ones that are just very clinical about it.
Yeah.
They're not trying to, like, eat a sandwich or have a conversation.
Ew, ew,
Well, they're just,
ew.
like, very clinical about it, and I
Because
appreciate
that's
that.
exactly what it is. It's just to make sure you're healthy.
Yeah.
It's the same as a throat swab if you have
Yeah.
strep throat or something. Which,
I'm
honestly,
only
throat
I'm a lot
swabs,
less likely to puke on you with a pap smear than I am
for
with a
real.
throat swab.
Throat swabs
sure
suck.
hope so.
Oh my
the
god! Or if
worst.
they use the tongue depressors that are wood, they're
Yeah,
so
those
Wood in your,
nasty.
It's
wood
like
in
the
your
end
mouth.
of a
It's like
popsicle.
heebie-jeebies, yeah.
Well, one time, because Samantha is my mom, some people forget that she's not Arly's mom, she's my mom.
You're not my mom.
But one time I threw up on both of us as a child.
She did. She had scarlet fever.
Yeah, I literally
Oh, boy.
had a Victorian child.
We had to go home from the doctor in clothing
the
they pulled
itchiest clothing ever.
from the lost and found bin.
We're lucky it didn't have like bed bugs or fleas in it.
Anyway, I think
There's,
we
like,
went
this-
home and I think someone gave me scrub pants.
Yeah.
And then we both had like sweaters from the lost and found bin.
Aw, poor
And then
Abby.
our pukey clothes in
Well,
a
because
bag.
I was like sitting on her. I think.
She was sitting in my lap and just bleh, barfed all over both of
Aw.
us.
Yeah, and then I'll tell a brief funny story. I was getting over scarlet fever, and it has like the really bad rash, and we got in a just a bumper,
A fender bender.
Just a
little bump.
accident. But my Rice Krispie treat that I was eating fell out of my hand, and I was really upset about that. But she thought I was crying because it like hurt my rash, and then I was like, "But my Rice Krispie treat."
That's something that I do. I would do.
Well, and I think it was one of the really good ones that we didn't get very often when we were younger. That was like the chocolate with the fudge bits on top. Yeah, it was really depressing.
Yeah, that's very sad.
Okay.
It's like when someone's like, ooh, I got my favorite drink, like in the morning, they're like, I can go to work now, and then they just send a picture and they're like, my day is ruined, and it's
Or-
just like spilled all over the
Yeah.
ground.
My twin Hannah really likes ice cream pie, and for a few years we had her make the ice cream pies.
For Christmas.
Yeah, and then she was on her way in and dropped one on the ground.
Aw.
And I
Face
literally,
down.
she was like,
I know, we're like, oh. She was waiting like, I'm gonna go eat this pie. I gotta
I
go
know.
eat this pie. And then just,
Oh, that's really sad.
it is
Yeah.
sad. I have been having so much fun lately meeting other podcasters.
Yes.
And I actually have 3 I want to share, but if I share them all at the same time, nobody will remember. So I'm going to share like one each time that we get together. And I wanted to share, this is Nicole Stute, and she has the Marvelous Middle Age podcast.
That
and
sounds fun.
it might not be super fun for you guys because you're not middle-aged, but for me,
24, 27.
yes,
Not
I
quite there
am
yet.
50. And Nicole, she talks about how middle age is a season to thrive. And it's also, this is kind of like ours in that it talks about her podcast is a place for a community of women in midlife to be seen, supported, and encouraged.
Aw.
And I just think it's really cool. So if you're like me, if you're anywhere in like premenopause, perimenopause, menopause, postmenopause, or you just like cool women doing cool things, then I would listen to the Marvelous Middle Age podcast, and it's pretty much everywhere you can listen to a podcast. So, yeah, that's my
And I'll
recommendation.
link it in the show notes.
Yeah, we'll put it in the show notes. But yeah, so support another awesome female, Nicole, in that podcast. So there are a lot of really cool podcasts out there.
Yeah.
The more we like dip our toes in, I am learning about podcasts I've never heard about before, it makes me think of like people are having that experience with us. They're like, what?
Well,
This
can I
exists?
share my weirdest, favoritist podcast?
Yeah, for sure.
Tooth and Claw by
Oh my
Wes.
gosh, Emily is obsessed.
I love this one. It's by Wes, Jeff, and Mike. And Wes is a bear biologist, and I'm obsessed with bears.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
A bear biologist?
Well, he got like his master's in studying bears. So I don't know if like his degree says bear biologist, but he's like a biologist with a specialty.
Could I get a
in
golden
bears.
retriever biologist degree?
Probably. I don't know. I could probably get one. I tell
They're
you
like,
what
that's
to do
called a
with your dog.
veterinarian.
Yeah.
I had a professor in high school, shout out Dr. B, who got, or not high school, in college, that got his PhD in the behavior of honeybees.
Yeah. Yeah, you can get
Like
really
super
specific with
niche.
it. But yeah, I'm pretty sure he has a master's, but the podcast.
Okay, so Tooth and Claw, tell us about
Yeah,
it.
so it's real tales of animal attacks, and it sounds really spooky, and it is kind of spooky, and I like true crime, so it's like sort of adjacent, but like the perpetrator is an animal. But but I don't know. Like, I love animals, and so it's just really cool hearing the stories and, like, what behaviors make animals attack and, like, how you can, because my husband and I go to the national parks all the time, and so, like, how you can prepare, what to do, like, one thing, if you see a cougar, it's probably a good sign, because if you can see it, it's probably not going to kill you, because they're stealth predators. But they just, like, they bring so much joy to it, and they care so much about animals, and they just, like, talk about random animals, and they do, like, full in-depth stories, like a true crime episode, basically, but they also do, like, news stories, and so they're, like, just crazy, like, animal attacks that wouldn't make sense for a whole episode, like, they do, like, a segment called Coyotes Be Wildin', because coyotes are crazy and just, like, do crazy stuff.
Wile Coyote.
And so it's just, like, I don't know. It's a joyful podcast that I'm obsessed with, and they're the best, so.
I love that for you.
They have, like, a little ecosystem, like that podcast, National Park After Dark, and then Too Scary Didn't Watch. They, like, all occasionally appear on each other's podcasts.
Oh, they do? I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
And so, like, Wes, the bear biologist, but he's also, like, good with other animal species, obviously. He was on Too Scary Didn't Watch, which is a horror movie recap podcast, on one about sharks. And so, like, he was talking about, like, the actual shark behavior as opposed to, like, the movie shark behavior. And I don't know. It's just fun.
Super fun.
Yeah, it's like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but of, like, my favorite podcasts all, like, connect with each other and their friends and stuff. It's really cool.
I've been watching a lot of, like, National Geographic type stuff on, like, my short videos on the internet. And the other day I was like, oh, look at this cute little puma. It's a cougar. And then, like, I didn't read the caption because I was like, it's a baby.
It's so cute.
I was like, look at this kitty. And then, like, right after this woman rocks across, and it's filmed in, like...
I think I saw this. Was it the skier getting a selfie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a selfie. I didn't see that part. But
yeah, she got attacked because she was trying to get a selfie with it.
Well, I don't know. Anyway, her face is, like, ripped apart.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it ripped her face off.
Yeah, like, she had her mitten over her face, and there was just blood coming down, and I was like, I thought this was a cute video about a cougar just living its life being...
Well, it is. That is
Pumas
cougars
different?
be
I don't
cougarin'.
know.
I think they're all in the genus Panthera.
I don't know,
And
but
so-
it was
so,
really
like,
cute.
Like, I know, like, there's, like, dark leopards that are still leopards, but, like, some leopards are, like, light-colored with dark spots, and some are, like, dark-colored with dark spots. I don't know.
I don't know. This was, like, an all-black
I know
cat.
there's a lot more cats than there are bears, because there's only 8 types of bears, so I have memorized them all.
But I was slightly taken aback, because I was like, that's a good kitty.
Sometimes it's scary to watch
Yeah.
nature videos, because you're like, oh, look at this.
Oh,
and then
the
it's
worst
like,
is
and it's killing something.
I know.
Like, and, like, one part I love about the podcast is it's like, stop personifying animals, which I'm like, but it just looks like it needs a friend. Like, oh, I just
need a kiss.
I know. And then, but it's like, stop doing that. They're animals. It's nature. But then it's like, they don't mean anything by it if they kill you. Like, there's no malice behind it. Like,
It's like the videos they see of, like, a man or a bear. Like, who would a woman want to be left alone? Have you seen the one where it's like...
Well, at least the bear I guess, at least I'd fill the bear's belly, and I really hope I don't fill the man's belly if I get murdered, so...
That would be dark. But
Yeah,
there's
we
a
might wanna
video
cut that
that's
out.
like
Sorry, I
the
went dark.
woman. There's a woman and a
Wow.
bear and a guy, and they're in the woods, and she's talking to the bear, and then a guy walks up, or no, she's talking to the guy, and he's being creepy, and the bear walks up, and he's like, "Is he bothering you, ma'am?" And then the conversation goes on.
I don't love AI for everything, but sometimes it's
No,
weird.
it's not AI. It's just a guy in a bear costume.
Oh, okay.
So it's very funny.
That's funny.
Yeah. Well, if a bear attacks you, it either has cubs or it's really hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah, just give it a fudgy...
Well, don't, because then the
oh.
people like Wes have to come either relocate the bear or,
Or
take
put it down.
Yeah.
Even if you just give it one little snack.
Yes.
Because if you give it, so
To save your life.
I'm not going to go on for bears forever. If you want a bonus episode on my obsession with bears, let me know. I'll provide that. But bears, like, their main source of survival, they, like, eat everything. They don't just eat meat. And what they're looking for is calorie dense. And our food is so much more calorie dense than anything they can get in the wild. And so then once they start, like, being in human society, they're like, oh, I can open up this dumpster and like get like 4 days worth of calories in like very little effort, and then they become food conditioned, and then they start attacking humans.
Yeah, but what if it's like coming to me and I'm like, I
the
have
rules are
some
a little
jerky
different if
in
you're
my
about
back
to get
pocket.
eaten.
Should I throw the jerky at the bear?
Probably.
Yeah.
But like, there's this. They do a whole like 3-episode series on something called The Night of the Grizzlies, which is
Yeah. Nope.
yeah.
That's
But
bad.
That
was a bad one.
The hotel, the bear really murdered something, or not murdered, killed people. It's not murdering.
Killed people while the others listened.
Yeah, so a little terrifying. But
The other people or other bears?
People.
Oh, well,
I mean, there might have been
rude.
bears too. I don't know.
But
Bears
the
are like,
chateau,
man, they're really
like,
going at them in there.
the chateau didn't take care of its trash. It just like dumped it outside, and then like had spotlights on the bears coming to eat the trash every night as like a tourist attraction.
Aww.
So then the bears got super food conditioned, and so when they took it away, the bears got a little angry.
Yeah, yikes.
But like, if you think about it, like bears during like berry season eat berry, but they eat berries. I don't know. This is very confusing.
This is
but they
way
eat
off.
berries for like all day just to
Yeah.
get enough caloric intake. But they could eat like one Little Caesars pizza, and they're like, "I'm Gucci." So that's
a
your
good
talk
point.
with Emily.
Well, while we're still on chatting topics for
Okay,
a few
yes.
more minutes, we haven't met for 2 weeks. So, is there anything work related that's happened over the last 2 weeks? So it'd be
I
fun.
went to a conference
Yes, tell us about your conference.
or a retreat. I went to the Achieve Retreat in Madison, Indiana, with Achieve Conferences run by Corey Hudson. It was super great, and I met a lot of new people, and I just had great conversations, and it was really honing in on like small business and like understanding how to make your business thrive, not just in survival mode. And so I met a lot of lovely people. It was hosted by Corey Hudson, and then Gayla, who Arly connected with at our first conference with, and then also Allison Loftus, who runs Leading Ladies, which is like, it's really cool. It's a coalition in Annapolis, Maryland. So like they all meet together, and it's like entrepreneur women group. But then they also have an online hub, which I joined, that's like just a community of other business owners, so you can learn about that stuff, which was really awesome. And it's just, I don't know, it's just fun learning about how to do good things in business. And the Achieve Conference kicked us off on our social media journey in October of 2025, and so it was cool to revisit that stuff.
Yeah,
So-
you guys came back from that first conference with just brimming with ideas and excitement.
Yeah, we had a lot of like inspiration, and we learned so much stuff.
Yeah, we learned so
was-
much. And
We learned a lot of things that we didn't know, but we also learned a lot of stuff about stuff that we don't want to do, which I think is like,
almost more important.
yeah,
It's helpful, yeah.
yeah, it's easy to be able to see the things that we want to do, but not seeing like all of the other things.
Well, things that you might not even know could be problematic, but then you can
Exactly.
avoid them.
yeah.
Yeah, so
So that was nice.
that was really good.
time.
And it was a good, like, I had like 2 days to work on myself and like myself as a business owner, which was really awesome. And I had a lot of fun. So
And Arly, you can talk about whatever you want, but I like am loving the project that you're working on right now in the shop
Oh,
for one of
yeah.
our favorite customers.
Yeah, I'm working on like 2 like nicheified cabinets, so they're like built into the studs. In the inside of the cabinets are wallpapered, and then she wants tiled shelves, which sounds kind of crazy, but
it looks really cool.
yeah, it looks really
They
cool.
look really cool. Do we have pictures up yet of those, or we can put them up?
Sneak peek video, but
Yeah, I
not
have
a
a
full.
sneak peek video, but like I don't have any
I
of
bet
the
by the
shelves
time
put
this
together.
episode comes out, you'll have them finished. And
I
we can
should,
put
yeah.
pictures of the finished product up. Yeah, they're so beautiful. And the way you lined up the wallpaper inside the cabinets, it's
It took me
chevron pattern.
So long. Well, it's chevron, and it's kind of like a more organic, like. It's not like uniform and super perfect, so it was a lot harder to line everything up because, like, some lines are a little bit thinner, some lines are a little bit thicker, and so that was challenging. But I was very proud at the end. They look really good. And
You also did a really beautiful tile floor for this client. And we've
Yes.
done 2 with the same tile already in her house. So we're completing the last wet area of her house. But they're 2 foot by 4 foot tiles. And Arly.
enormous.
They weigh
Yeah.
like 55 pounds.
I think it's like 35 pounds.
Still
each.
heavy.
But they're like Italian porcelain. And they're so pretty.
They
are
are.
beautiful.
We do have a
They're
video
so hard to work
of
with.
Arly installing those on our page. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fun.
Yeah. And then we're tiling the walls in her bathroom. And yeah, we have a lot of good stuff going
We
on.
haven't met since we won the Business Incubator Challenge.
I forgot about that.
Oh,
I forgot about that. So
And I was freaking sick.
a week and a half ago, we participated in. So the Chamber of Commerce in our town does a Business Incubator Challenge every year, and it's in 2 categories. You can either be a business that doesn't exist yet that is trying to start a business, or you
Don't
can
mind the
be
chunka.
an existing business that is starting a new arm of your business. So that's the category that we were in. So it started in November with the application process. And then if you made it to the semifinals or to the finals, which we did, then you competed in like a Shark Tank style presentation. So that happened on January 22nd.
Yes.
And we won.
Yeah.
Knuckles to you girls.
I'll pass it along.
And it was really an amazing night. And we were talking about in-person classes. So
Yeah.
it was kind of like we started the podcast so that we could build a community that would help us attract sponsors so we could do in-person classes. And this will be the first little micro pilot of our in-person classes. So we're pretty excited to be able to bring those to our local area first. But also stay tuned because we are talking about and dreaming about a fall How to Handyma'am weekend intensive.
Yeah.
So think live podcast recording, multiple hands-on classes, tool demonstrations, inspirational or encouraging talks and gatherings with other women, and some fun, and of course good food because that's necessary. So just think about spending a Friday through a Sunday with a bunch of other fantastic women who are just geeked to learn and connect with each other. So that's coming this fall. So if you're interested in that,
Hopefully this fall.
yes, come to our How to Handyman page and put a little hands up, me, pick me, and we'll put you on the. You can we'll reach out to you and you can share your email address, and then you can be the ones to find out first when registration opens.
But it's actually our first class this month, which Arly connected us with a Girl Scout troop. And we're teaching them how to build
Yeah, I'm really
stuff.
excited. I started thinking about when we were talking about sponsors and who we want to connect with. I thought about the Girl Scouts. I wasn't a Girl Scout for very long, but I was going through their website and I was like, this seems like it would be perfect for us. And so I've been really wanting to do a class with them. And then one of our clients is a leader of a Girl Scouts troop. And so I was like, this is perfect. And she was really psyched too. So we're going to build something together, get them some hands-on experience, and then hopefully move on to more Girl Scouts. Maybe we'll have a Handyma'am badge someday.
Yeah, if you have a Girl Scout troop and you want to fly us to wherever you are so we can come do it for you, hey, we're game. We'll travel.
Or if you're anywhere around the capital area in Michigan.
Yeah, around the greater Lansing area.
Yeah.
All right, we are back from the pee break and ready to learn some stuff. So we're...
Sorry, random, but just found more paint in my hair.
Oh, well, that's
Contracted
because we work in the field, yes. So, Arly, it's back to you for teaching.
We have another fun one today. And I'm really excited about this because we were just talking about flooring earlier, and Samantha has some opinions. I also have some opinions. And we are doing another episode of Cheap or Quality.
Yay! I love that one. Was so fun. We did
too.
go really long because we're like,
Yeah.
what else? What else?
I
What else?
lost my soul that day.
I thought it would be like cheaper quality, fast. So I grabbed like 20
No, but we
or
were
whatever.
like, hold on, I have an opinion.
Brevity is not our strong suit. So.
No, we are good at many things, but
Why would you have a podcast if brevity was your strong suit?
That's true.
you can be like, welcome to my podcast. Hey, here's some stuff. Bye.
Here's 5 tips. Done 5 minutes.
Yeah. Although,
Done.
We could
be
do
like the
that
speed dating version.
if we didn't like each other so much.
And
So.
if we were different human beings.
Yeah.
That's all it would
But
require.
we're not, so...
Yeah.
We're not. So here we are. So, cheaper quality what?
The cheaper quality, we're doing, I guess, products? I mean, the last one was also kind of products. It wasn't...
Well, that was tools.
It was tools. This is more like products for your house.
Okay, so this is
Perfect.
cheaper quality home
Like
edition.
what you would buy
Yeah.
to complete
Yeah.
a DIY project?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the materials?
The first
and-
one was tool edition. This one's
Yeah.
home
Material.
edition. Ooh,
so-
we have lots of opinions.
I know we do.
I have
And
strong
I
opinions.
included things that I know you guys have lots
You know
of
what? This is
opinions on.
appropriate because episode 1 was cheaper quality. This is episode 11.
So 10 whole episodes ago.
We did 10.
That's
Yay.
crazy.
All right, number 11.
That means our podcast is officially bingeable because it means there's like literally 12 hours of content out there now. So
Well, that with our side quests, you could
Oh, yeah,
really
there's
like
more.
stay in
And
bed
then,
all
like,
day and listen
15
to
hours
it.
or 16 with the side quest. All right, so I'm geeked.
So this one is not an official one because I feel like we've already explained how we feel about this, but I'm going to include it just in case that we have new people who
we have
haven't
to
went
answer
back.
in tandem.
Oh, okay.
Well, I think we're all going to say the same thing.
Okay, what
so
is it?
cheap or quality paint?
Quality.
Yeah, quality.
Quality.
We've
talked about
tried
this before.
it. We've tried
We've
the
tried
cheap
them
stuff.
all.
We've tried it.
Yeah.
And I'm
It's
sorry
like-
to tell you, you
Ugh.
have to get the. It doesn't have to be like outrageously expensive. It doesn't
No.
have to be like the crazy, like
No.
top of the line.
Oh. But I will say there is a can whose brand I will not name, but it has a barn on it. And you will have to paint 12 coats.
Oh, you can find
It's
that one
like-
at Menards.
Painting.
Oh,
with
you know
milk.
what? I used black paint on composite decking, which I don't think you're supposed to. This was
No.
before I became a handyman, but it
That's
just
also an emphatic no.
scratched right off.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then
I don't think
got,
that was the paint's fault.
okay, no, I think it
Oops,
was
sorry.
partially. Okay, because I went and I got a different can of paint and like I like clawing at it.
For our listeners, Arly was making some kind of badger face and scratching at the air.
Panther, Wolverine, I don't know.
She might be
and
featured
I
on next episode of Tooth and Claw.
Yeah. Well, and it didn't come off. So I was like, it's got to be at least half the
Yeah.
fact that it was like a $10 gallon.
Well, in a
of paint,
previous episode,
so.
Emily has, we don't need to go into the detail, but Emily has described the science behind why some paint is better than others.
Well, I think most people know, like, the more you, like, distill vodka and
Yeah,
stuff.
that's
like,
what the example
It's
you
basically,
gave.
like, the more you grind it up, the better it is. But,
I mean, some paints, though, are just very watery.
yeah.
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 Which
that's
is really
true.
hard if you don't have a ton of skill, because your skill will get better as you paint more.
Yeah.
But it can be really hard to, like,
Pick up your roller and your paint is literally like,
yeah, and you
like milk
dripping.
on your
go, like,
cereal
really
coming
slow,
off.
and it's, like, like, splashing all over you and
Yeah.
stuff.
That's not
But
good.
so a lot of contractors have a lot of opinions about which paint.
do.
Some like this kind, some like this kind. We prefer Sherwin-Williams. That's just because we've had the best luck. A lot of TikTok has let us know that they do not like it. To each their own.
Yeah,
We're
a lot of
telling you.
people are really
We love it.
excited
We love
about
it.
some bear paint, and I told them that we would try it again because some people are saying
That's
that it's
fair.
better than Sherwin-Williams
Yeah.
Emerald. And you know, now that we have more experience, maybe we can like at least try it and maybe accept that other people could possibly like it.
Yeah.
Because our current view is that if it's not Sherwin-Williams, it sucks.
To be fair, we have gotten a bad batch of Sherwin-Williams where it was like, they just did not paint well, but they made it right and got us
Yeah.
new stuff. So I think some of it, like, we had a really bad experience with one that I will not name.
Yeah.
But we might have just gotten a bad batch of it, and so
Maybe.
maybe.
I think part of it is like, it's 70% the paint and 30% what it's like having a relationship with a Sherwin-Williams team.
Yes.
Yeah,
They have good paint, and then they also have really great people.
Because we can be using the paint and be like, what the heck is happening with this paint? All of a sudden, I feel like I am not a good painter. And then Christine will show up, and she will be like, this is what's happening.
Yeah, and
or
I think
she'll
you
have
can
ideas.
call their, like, the store you buy it from,
You
and they'll
can.
probably
They
help.
know stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, they, like, when you go to a hardware store, it's a hit or miss whether the person that's helping you will know where to find something and know what the context of using something is.
Yeah.
But at Sherwin-Williams, I haven't run into anybody who doesn't have, like, a really good pool of knowledge and can really help.
Well, you have to go to,
customers.
like, not capital P, capital S, but, like, paint school. You have to go to paint school, even to, like, just work in this store. It's not like they're just a cashier. They're like paint experts who will also ring you up.
I don't know if you guys agree with this, but sometimes when people who work at like Menards or something are like emphatic about what they think, like their answer, and they're like so sure they're yes, it like turns me off of it. I'm like, I don't know about this.
Well,
You're
yeah,
like-
I told the story, I think, on the podcast of the guy that put a 50-pound bag of like mix it yourself
Mortar
in my cart, and I was like, I don't want that, but I just wheeled it away and parked it in another aisle because I also didn't want to like pick a 50-pound bag up out of the bottom of a normal cart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've also been like trapped in an aisle with a guy who was like, "You need this gate latch," and I was like, "I can confirm my customer does not want that gate latch."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Well, they can't deadbolt this one." Okay.
Like, I
Okay,
understand.
moving on.
but
Okay. What's the next one?
Okay.
I kind of miss your little cute teal notebook.
I know. I have this on Google Notes.
Oh.
And because I was typing it on my computer, and I was just gonna like copy it down later, but then I didn't. So I got the.
All right.
app
What's
or
next?
whatever. Click and lock flooring.
Ugh. Quality.
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 It doesn't need to be like the most expensive, but I would not recommend buying the cheap stuff.
I already hate click and lock flooring.
Yes, she does.
Of the highest quality.
Yeah.
So you know how I'm going to feel about the cheap click and lock flooring.
Here's one thing. If you're deciding to DIY yourself, you're already saving a lot of money on labor. So I would save up or just splurge a little and buy the good quality.
I will tell you, if you're installing click and lock flooring and you're like, I'm terrible at everything and I should just crawl in a hole and live there, you might have bought cheap click and lock flooring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It might be the flooring that's the problem and not you.
Sometimes if there's a mega sale on a certain kind because no one's buying it, friends, there might be because
There's a reason.
it doesn't
Yeah.
work very
Do
well.
not buy
There's-
it.
So click and lock flooring from like a reasonable distance away, it all appears relatively similar. And there's a couple things that like make some stand apart from the others. And one of them is the backing.
Yes.
Some of them have this like built-in backing that makes it so you don't have to put any underlayment underneath it. And it is good for like the temperature and the humidity like barrier or whatever.
It's a little bit of a pad.
Yeah, and then it has some like absorption of
Motion.
force or something, whatever. Anyway, and then the greatest thing is the clicking and locking mechanism.
Yes.
So they mostly appear to all be very similar, but they really aren't. Some have where they basically just sit on top of each other, and there's such a small, minuscule little hook. And the ones that pretty much you just have to like push into place to get them to lock, they come unlocked very easily.
Yeah, if they're easy to lock, they will be easy to unlock.
Yes. And this is one of the things that Samantha and I probably disagree on is if you have the good kind of flooring, it rarely unlocks. Like, I have never had any of the ones that I've installed unlock. Like, the stuff that's in our apartment, we have uneven flooring. I mean, like, we did put down 3/4 inch OSB on the floor, but there was a lot of spots that were like, and it's so good.
Do you
It's held
remember
up
what
really
brand
well.
it is? Because I feel like we've been like, don't get the cheap stuff, but we haven't recommended.
It's a Lowe's. I think this was from Lowe's. I'm pretty sure.
I think so, but I cannot remember.
We'll try to find some brands that like we know we've had some good
Yeah, we
stuff.
can.
Like, it might have been Life Proof.
I was going to say Life Proof. I don't think it was Life Proof.
It wasn't,
but
but Life Proof
is a good one.
Yeah.
I will say, before we spend too long on it, because I will just tell you how much I hate click and lock flooring. But I will say that one great thing to do if you find one that you love the look of is to read the reviews. Because the people who have installed it will tell you just how horrible it will be to install, and you should believe them.
Or they'll be like 6 months later and my floor is completely falling apart.
Yeah. You really want something like that isn't too brittle, that with that pad on the back of it. And like, yes, sometimes the difference in price is like a little bit, but I would just get the quality.
Your future you will be very angry at present you if you buy.
Yeah, plus it costs more to buy cheap than expensive flooring than it does to just buy the expensive stuff.
Yeah.
Well, like our bathroom we've renovated it 5 years ago and it has its second floor now. So we've now purchased flooring for that bathroom twice because the first flooring was really bad.
Yeah. This is never going to unclick though.
Yeah. Knock on wood
I
now.
will have one caveat before we move on to the next one, which is a situation's unfair to blame the click and lock if your floors are really uneven.
Yeah.
Because click and lock, it has to have it doesn't have to have a level surface, but it has to have a flat surface.
Yeah.
So it can slope one way or slope the other, but it can't slope in multiple directions.
I have one quick disclaimer because I've heard this a lot from clients lately and I've seen it a lot online. A liquid floor leveler is not as easy as it seems. People are like, liquid floor level and then put click and lock.
That's just a marketing
Please
gimmick.
either have that done by someone who knows what they're doing, or please be aware that if you embark upon that journey, it comes with much frustration.
Yeah, it requires skill and some equipment that is specific to that, and a lot of patience. And they make it sound like it's like pouring out a carton of milk and it just levels itself, which is not.
You kind of have to
true.
coax it to level
You
it.
do. You have to coax it to level itself, and if it's too thin, it will just crack. It will just crack up underneath, basically like a saltine cracker underneath your flooring, or
if it's too thin and you didn't block every hole conceivable,
it will just run into your basement or your second floor. Yeah,
there are people who know how to do it well, but I would just say they make it seem really beginner friendly online, and it's just not.
You have to do like a fair amount of waterproofing beforehand. I remember when we did it for the first 2 units of the rental. Kelly and I were working on that for days,
literally weeks,
and oh my gosh, there was it's insane. But there was like I remember the solution to waterproof was like you had to mix it in parts and then roll it on the ground, and then you had to do another layer, and then we had to caulk all the seams and like every single area that might possibly have a hole where it could go into. It was crazy.
So liquid leveler can be a great solution. And even for DIY, just make sure if you're going into it that you understand you do have to follow the directions very carefully. You cannot skip any steps, and just be prepared to stick with it, because it will have some parts that will make you want to quit.
Yeah, I know that was kind of off topic, but I've just seen a lot of the internet lately being like, just a liquid level before you click and lock floor. And they make it seem like you just daintily mix it together and then you dump it on your floor, but it's a lot of prep.
Yeah, it is. Okay, Arly, what's next?
Okay. This one is a good one. I was trying to think of things
answer at the same time.
that homeowners
We'll do 1, 2, 3.
have that they need that they would get in order to do something themselves.
Okay.
And I think this one is going to be maybe really controversial, but spray paint.
1, 2, 3, cheap.
Yeah, I was going to say cheap. Sorry, I had no thoughts, just vibes in my brain. I was like, just let my mom answer.
Well, first of all, my first thought was, does anybody other than Rust-Oleum make it?
Yeah.
They do, obviously, but I feel like
I know this isn't an answer, but I say mid-tier. Like, if I found like a $2 can of spray paint, I don't think I'd use it.
I don't even know if there is a $2 can of spray paint.
My best spray, I think I just had a stroke. My best spray paint hack, that was really hard to say, I don't know why, is to do a clear coat.
Over it? You mean
Yeah,
last?
over it. Last.
Oh, that's a good idea.
In whatever sheen, or if you get a color that you're like, I don't like the sheen, just put a different sheen clear coat over top of it. But the clear coat, because spray paint is pretty good, but it just, it's not very thick, and that's kind of the problem with, like, scratchability and stuff. But
especially if you try to get it all done in one coat.
Oh,
I would say
don't do that. Just
more
don't do that.
coats. More light
kissing
coats
yeah.
are better, yeah. All right.
I remember
What do you think?
I think I agree with the mid tier.
I think, though, one important thing about spray paint is that there is, like, on the can, it'll tell you what it's for. So there's metal spray paint, plastic
you have
spray
to
paint.
use the right
Yeah.
one.
Metal spray paint won't work on plastic spray, like, on plastic. So just be careful. And also, spray paint melts styrofoam. Ask me how I know.
Oh, I will say, too, that there are spray paints that are for vinyl. And I learned this. It's not about adhesion to vinyl. It's about how it reacts in high temps. So, like, let's say you're painting outdoor furniture, and they have those, like, plastic chairs, basically, which you can paint. But if you don't paint them with a vinyl-safe paint, then they will get hot and melt. Like, the paint itself will, like, magnify the sun's
Suddenly,
rays.
your backyard looks like a Salvador Dali. Your
all the
furniture
chairs are
melting. All right, what's next?
The only thing I want to add to that is I did some research, and there is a difference between cheaper and quality. People have their opinions. It's just like whatever. Everybody kind of has their own opinion. There doesn't seem to be anything like functionally severely wrong with using cheaper.
Yeah.
There's less color options in cheaper stuff. You know, there's more like primary and secondary colors, and less of that like more niche stuff. But one of the things I did see was the nozzle. A lot of cheaper ones, the paint might be fine, but the nozzle breaks, and then it makes it really hard to use your paint.
Yeah.
So that's something to think about, is maybe get a mid one, because you don't probably need like the super expensive spray paint unless you're doing something super niche. But you do want to have like a somewhat good quality nozzle so that it does not break when you're trying to use. And cans of spray paint are expensive.
Yeah,
they are like $9 or $10 for a can of Rust-Oleum.
Yeah.
So you want something that you can like use it and then use it next year and the year after and the year after. And if the nozzle doesn't hold up, then it doesn't matter that you have 3/4 of a can of paint.
I will say, sometimes you just want to DIY and you might not do the proper prep and stuff. It's okay if the DIY fails, but the best spray paint practice and the best normal practice is the spray paint primer, which helps do adhesion, then your color, and then with spray paint, I think it's best to do the clear coat. So
honestly, like when I spray paint something, I do almost no prep. Like luckily, I haven't used spray paint in a long time, and I've also never used it for a customer. So that's probably one of the reasons. But I just I'm like, it doesn't really have any dirt on it. It doesn't have any spider webs on it. I
also think most spray paint projects are low stakes.
Yeah.
So it's one of those, like if you're repainting your plastic furniture, even your cast iron furniture, like it's pretty low stakes.
Yeah. Might be a good opportunity to use liquid sandpaper.
Oh, yeah.
Just to prep it, because it's easy to rub on and just rinse it off.
Did they make a spray of liquid sandpaper? Because that would be awesome.
I don't know. Maybe.
That would be cool. I don't know, because like the liquid sandpaper has like a grit in it that when you rub it on, that's what's making the sandpaper.
Yeah.
So I don't know if
I
they
love
would.
that stuff with the microfiber. I think it works
It's
perfect.
so great as an alternative to sanding forever.
Yeah.
Ooh, what's next on the list?
Okay. We've kind of gone over this before. Paintbrushes.
Quality.
Mid.
Quality.
I know that's not an answer, but not
I say,
cheap.
Quality.
Well, unless if you're using oil-based paint, I feel like let's say you're painting like my sister's house, they have like a bridge over a little culvert to get to their house. It's like a troll bridge. Like you're going to use...
No, I used to genuinely think a troll lived on it.
You can use a crummy paintbrush that you can throw away. Or if you're doing like for trunk or treat, I paint like canvases or things like for trunk or treat. I use the foam brushes and then you can throw them away. So I would say, but like for us, for painting the interior of people's houses or the exterior of their house, I would say quality paintbrush.
Can I say my number one grievance with cheap paintbrushes? When the bristles fall out and then they end up in your paint job.
Like paint hair
or you're
everywhere.
like trying to like pick them out, but it's just cured enough that like then the indent of the stupid bristle is left behind and you're like, dang it.
Yes.
So that's why I say mid-tier, because I think like there's really expensive brushes, but if you're just like a regular DIYer, like the Purdy like midline
Purdy, I think we said mid-stiff, and then Worcester silver tip. I think those are our two
I love a Worcester silver tip.
like mid-level paintbrushes.
Well, and I love an inch and a half.
But I consider
Worcester
those are
silver tip.
mid-level in terms of cost, but I consider them quality paintbrushes.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
what I think. I think
I
like,
guess I'm getting
an
caught up on thinking
thing-
expensive.
Yeah, expensive.
Remember, cheaper
I'm
quality,
sure-
not cheaper expensive.
Yeah, I'm sure that there are some that have like more like niche ones that are more expensive or higher quality.
I know if you're doing like
material or
oil trim
something.
paint.
Yeah, you
like
might
you-
need something
yeah.
different.
Well, and like
But-
the two of you are artists, you both paint.
That's funny.
Like-
I paint with the cheapest possible.
you?
so do
paintbrushes.
I. Yeah. Well, medium.
I paint with watercolor, and so I just go for
I've
it.
been painting with watercolor and acrylic, but I don't really paint with oil paint.
No, I don't do oil. I'm not patient enough. You have to let the paint cure for like 6 months.
Yeah, that's really long. Plus, it's
Yeah.
messy. And,
Yeah.
You know. I say quality because I think that if you are a DIYer, you only need 2 paintbrushes and you can spend $10 or $15 on 2 paintbrushes and you can keep them forever.
Yeah,
like
clean
my
'em out.
dad has had, which they're cheap brushes, so they kind of are like really brittle and stuff and they shed, but he's had these brushes forever and they've been with all of our paint stuff and we just wash them out and he's had them forever and our paintbrushes have like a lifespan because we use them a lot.
Yeah.
And so if you're not painting several times a week, you really don't need more than like 2 or 3 brushes, probably in like multiple years, I would say. So I would say get the good ones, you know, and then take care of them, keep them around, and then you won't have to buy paintbrushes again.
Yeah, I agree.
Kind of like a little good investment. Plus, I have an extremely hard time working with lower quality brushes. They're just so frustrating and they don't hold paint.
Well, they poke off in
They don't
directions they're
apply
not
well.
supposed to. They shed.
I just get
And
so
sometimes
frustrated.
like they're like stiff, but not in the right way. Like they're very plasticky stiff. and
Yeah,
they
yeah.
just
Or
don't
they're,
paint.
I was going to say tendrils. Their bristles are like really coarse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I hate that.
You want to use a paintbrush so that when you run it over your cheek, like it feels
nice.
Yeah, it's like kind of soft. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you're like, I could apply foundation with this possibly.
Right? Okay. Oh, this is a good one. Sorry. There's 2 that I just looked at and I almost just combined the 2 words. Lumber.
I think it depends on
the
what it's
project.
being used for.
I would say in general quality,
Okay.
because it's really frustrating to have like bowed lumber.
Well, yeah, I guess
Brittle lumber.
quality could
Doesn't
mean
mean expensive.
different
but-
things. So if you're building a shelving unit for your basement, you can have 2x4s that have rough bits.
Yeah, or like scrap random.
You don't
pieces.
want them twisted.
Yeah.
It's hard to build with something. You can't build something decent with a twisted board. But when you get to like the bookcases that we did for Darylyn, one of our favorite customers, you want it to be straight and really nice finish without gouges and knots and things like that. So yeah, I would say quality in terms of like its composition, like its structure, like it's straight. It's like a straight piece of wood, I guess. And then for the finish, it just like it depends on what you're doing. So you're not going to use a piece of oak as a stud.
Yeah.
I mean, they used to
Yeah, they used to.
150 years ago and 175 with our 2 houses. But today, you're definitely
Yeah.
not going to use oak for studs, but you don't need oak for studs. But if you're building a piece of furniture, you're probably going to use maple or oak or hickory or something like that.
If you're in the Midwest, we mostly get our lumber from Menards, which sometimes in the summer, like when they're cycling through a lot of exterior lumber, it gets a little sketch. Like you have to dig a lot.
It's
Not
hit or
anymore. We
miss.
used to get most of our lumber from Menards, but now we get most of it from Weber lumber.
Oh yeah, we do have a lumber yard. But
I would
if
say
you're,
we get most of our outside lumber and some finished trim lumber. We still, when we need to go look at like oak or poplar, Menards is a great
it's a great
source for that.
option.
Yeah.
We've gotten stuff at both Lowe's and Home Depot, and it's fine. It's just not the best
great.
quality. I mean, so I'm gonna do a whole YouTube video on it, but I build my planter boxes for my garden. It's really important to me that I use cedar and not pressure treated. So I use cedar fence pickets, and they're the most reasonable at Menards, but they're also thin enough to bend them if they're not correctly. So, yeah, it's just do your research and then honestly look up an article on what good wood looks like and then
I think
that's a good idea.
One tip is when you're using pressure treated lumber in the summer to build like most outside things, a lot of times it's very wet. Like it's still like it just came out of the like superhero like vat of
like
chemicals.
if you were dunked in it, you would have supervision or something.
So the problem with that is when it dries, it often warps. So if you have the opportunity to pick your own lumber, it's good to pick through the pile, find the dry lumber, because if it's already dry and then it's dimensionally stable. The way it looks is the way it's going to look.
Plus, it's less heavy.
Building was so heavy.
There is a
wet lumber.
insane amount of difference between dry and wet lumber.
Even just a 2x4.
It's so
a
much
normal
heavier.
2x4, just
Truly
like
insane.
boop, you just pick it up. You can't pick up 3 at a time. But like a pressure treated, like juicy, soaking wet pressure treated 2x4 is incredibly heavy.
So we can kind of tell on site just because we've been working with lumber for years now. But if you have trouble with it, you can get like a pretty cheap moisture meter and bring it with you to the lumber yard and just poke at the wood. Like pressure treated after it's cured for a year is around 12 to 15%, but you could find something that's like closer to that percent. So if you really don't trust looking at it, then
Sorry.
Yeah, we got
somebody's car
There's
alarm
a parking
is
lot
going
right
off.
behind their house. So sorry.
Somebody at the
Catholic
Catholic school has their car alarm going off.
So yeah, I mean, you can get like pretty inexpensive moisture meters, and it's useful to have if you build a deck one summer and then you want to know if you can stain it the next summer. But you should trust yourself to be able to look and know if a piece of wood is wet. But if you want like a,
you want to tell? Well,
like
it's good to have a moisture meter if you know whether you can stain it or paint it yet.
Yeah.
That's good to have.
I always love, like, my favorite thing is when we screw into a board, and instead of, like, cracking or something, it just, like, oozes out.
Yeah,
It's,
it's
like,
kinda satisfying.
all of that, like, pressure.
All the
I don't know,
chemicals.
it's probably really
Yeah,
toxic.
it is really
Yeah, 'cause
toxic.
isn't it like
But
copper sulfate or
It's something. It used to be arsenic, but, I mean, it's not that anymore, but yeah, it's something.
So you mean to tell me I shouldn't have been licking the lumber?
No, you
Just kidding.
definitely should not be licking lumber. But, you know, you do you.
okay. This one, I think I know your answer. Da-da-da-da. Wallpaper.
Oh.
Cheap. Quality, sorry.
Yeah, quality. Yeah, I was like,
Quality.
them fighting words. I cannot describe to you the nightmare that is. And now I will say quality. It doesn't have to be expensive.
Okay.
There are some affordable, higher quality. You need at least, what is it, 1,200? There's a number. It's either 12 or 1,200.
You can look at the thickness of the
Yes.
paper.
Is it?
But
Yes. Sorry. Go ahead.
But I will tell you, friends, if you have not looked up the price of wallpaper, it's kind of scary when you first look at it.
I did not realize it would be
wallpaper
expensive.
isn't super cheap. So if you find a really good deal on it, I just want you to beware. You might be able to work with it, especially if it's in your own home, but we always recommend for clients. Stuff that's really nice was like a linen-based paper
like
type.
a grass cloth.
Like
That
really
sounds
thick.
really
Those are
good.
so nice.
Those
the
are really nice.
Best because when you put it on, it's perfect, and when you take it off,
It comes off so nice.
yeah,
Love it so
Everybody
much.
talking about how much they hate removing wallpaper, but you know what? If it was grass cloth,
Yeah, it's much
wallpaper.
easier. We added wallpaper to our services about a year ago now,
Yep.
and for years we were like, "No, we're not
Emily
going to do
tricked
wallpaper.
me
We're not
into
going to do it." It was your client
You were responsible.
To be fair, I was like, well, we can learn it. It's fine. And then we were like, this is so fun.
Then when we took it out, I was like, you have to come with
almost
me.
anything.
I'll try
I
almost
swear.
anything.
Yeah. Like, if I have, like, an idea that I'm like...
Except I won't try what you...
Well, if it's dangerous, you usually say no.
No, because Arly tried to cut these metal posts by holding a miter saw
I did not ask
up in
you.
the air.
I asked Kaylee.
Okay. Well,
Who
Kaylee,
had the only brain on the work site that day, apparently.
It was a long day.
Oh my god, please, miter saw, chop saw, whatever you call it, it has base that's supposed to be on the ground for a reason.
Yes.
It would have been on the ground in some...
Yeah, so would you
Term
have
of the
fingers
word. No.
separate from your
Yes.
body?
Yes, no. All right. I think we have time for one more.
We only have one more.
What
so
is
it's
it?
perfect.
Look at that.
What
Wait,
is it?
I want to just real quick with wallpaper.
Okay.
I
If
thought
you
you were going
guys,
to defend your actions for a second. I was like,
I have no, I have no shame, but I also have no defense for my actions.
That seems fair.
For wallpaper, first of all, it's so fun.
It is very fun.
I say no to peel and stick or
Oh,
pre-pasted.
yeah. No, definite no. Both of those.
Peel and
I don't like either of them. If you are able to, I know it's hard the way that like capitalism works currently all online, but like if you can order a sample or if you can go into a store and order something and feel the weight of your paper, because if it feels like you really don't want to pour a cup of water on it, you probably are going to struggle.
Yeah,
to
'cause glue is
install
wet.
it.
What's
Glue
a
is
good
wet.
approximation? Like something that feels like a postcard. It doesn't need to be that thick.
almost like a
Something-
paperback book cover.
That might be a little bit thick.
That's a little
I'm
thick.
trying to think of what are those like kind of flimsy like plasticky things that go underneath your plate at the dinner table.
Placemats?
placemats.
When you like lift them up and they bend a little bit, but you could
The ones
kind
that
of
are
like
made
fold
out of
them a little bit.
Plastic. The ones that are made out of like plastic, not the ones that are made out of jute or something else.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like, yeah, I think that's appropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you wanted, you could like wave it up and down, and it would kind of like
Flop around.
ribbon
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
bit. But you can't like crumple it up.
Yeah.
Really.
If something
I swear we're not sponsored maybe yet, but the traditional wallpaper books where you can like flip through them, a lot of Sherwin-Williams have them.
Yeah, they do. And you can
And
feel
look
the
at so
paper.
many.
Yeah.
If something feels like computer paper or notebook paper or
Tissues.
Or it feels a little
Tissues.
stretchy.
no,
Scary.
you don't want
Yeah,
stretchy.
yeah.
No.
Ask us how we know.
Many tears, many
When we
tears.
say we've learned everything the hardest possible way, so you don't have to, that's exactly what we mean.
And the one Samantha
Yeah.
was talking about that was really stretchy, it was a floral print one that was very little room for error for lining up the
yeah.
pattern.
No, it had a
so it
very
was rough.
specific
Yeah.
pattern. So if you stretch the wallpaper and it's like now a different size, it means your roses are further apart than they were before.
Yes. The only other thing I want to say about wallpaper is that you should always order extra because you're going to have a lot, depending on your pattern, you're going to have like
You're gonna
a
lose
variation.
some,
You're
yeah.
going to lose some. And then also for repairs, because with painting, you know, if you get a hole in your wall or whatever, you can just, you know, obviously paint over it. With wallpaper, it's a little bit different. And if
Yeah.
you have like all of your scraps pretty much that are bigger than like, I don't know, a dollar bill or something, you're going to want like a somewhat decent
Maybe a
sized
piece of notebook
scrap.
paper, yeah.
But if you save as many scraps as you can, then you're going to have a lot of options when it comes to patching and that stuff. And I never would have thought about that until I got sent on a job where I had to patch in somebody's wallpaper, and they had all of it from like 25 years. Like the wallpaper was older than I was. And and it was a slightly different color because the stuff on the wall had been, you know,
In
like,
the sun.
in the sun,
Yeah.
and it had been lived in for whatever, and the other stuff had been I think neatly rolled and put in like a sealed container or something. But they had all the pieces that I needed, and it was amazing.
It's so much less trouble than having to like take down an entire wall of wallpaper.
Yeah, because you can't find like a match or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. And order more than you think because they print them And then sometimes their next batch of prints is slightly different. Now, that's not as common as it used to be, but still something to think about.
Yeah. All right. What's our last one? What is it?
Oh, quickly, let us know if you want any more tips on wallpaper or like videos on it, because we've gotten pretty good over the last.
If you don't want videos, or even if you do, don't worry. We're going to make some anyway.
Yeah.
So
the idea's in our head.
yeah, we're doing it anyway.
Tell us if you have specific wallpaper questions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tile.
I say cheap. Cheap.
Yeah.
I mean,
I've never met a cheap tile
expensive
that I'm
ones
like,
are beautiful also, but cheap ones, yeah.
So I looked up, because I know that there's a durability difference between porcelain and ceramic. But I didn't know if there was different levels of porcelain and different levels of ceramic, and surprise, there is. And they made, like, I have it saved what kind of the points were, where like the hardness of your tile, the finish of the tile, and the consistency of your tile, and then the glaze. So the thing that I thought about was, if you're doing a floor, that's going to be there for probably a long time, and you're going to have a lot more wear than if it's your backsplash or on a wall or something. So maybe go a little bit more for those floor tiles, just because you'll probably want something that's pretty darn hard.
and pretty thick.
Yeah, you're going to want it to have like a certain thickness in it. And then I'm not just talking about the hardness of the tile itself, the durability of the actual, earth-colored part.
Yep.
But also the glaze has like a certain durability.
That's the colored part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is you're definitely going to want to make sure that it's up to your standards and that it's going to last as long as you want it to.
Think about the floor in a kitchen. It's a lot more likely to get a pan dropped on it or things like that. Whereas in a bathroom, it's going to be probably hairbrushes and toothpaste, and you're not going to get the same amount of like potential damage as you are in like an
Well, in a
area that
kitchen's
has-
usually like a thoroughfare, and people are standing in one spot for a while, which can cause wear and tear.
Yeah.
But like a cheap Subway backsplash, it's gonna function pretty much. the
Right?
same.
Yeah.
I mean,
honestly,
the same thing.
for inexpensive tiles that are problematic, they're problematic during installation.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
They're a pain in the butt for install, but once you install them, like for the homeowner, for you, once you're done with the nightmare of installation, then and a lot of times it's the cutting.
Yeah.
That's
Working with a cheaper like ceramic tile versus a more expensive ceramic tile, it's not a huge difference.
I'd honestly say your tools make more of a difference than
Yeah,
tile
they do.
itself.
And porcelain. Let's just talk for a
Okay,
hot
I'm
second.
sorry, but the shards that come off of porcelain are
Tell me about it. I was wearing safety glasses, okay? And then I was cutting something, and then I finished, took my safety glasses off, and I was like, my eye itches. And I went into the corner of my eye, and there was a white shard in my eye.
What were you gonna say? But that's terrifying.
It was awful.
I don't know.
I'm
but
sorry, I
Arly,
interrupted you.
Arly makes a great point though. You might not think, like with tile installation, might not seem like the most obvious you should wear safety glasses, but you should definitely wear safety
A
glasses. when
tile
you're-
saw basically works like a grinder.
Yeah.
And that'll spray stuff in all directions.
Oh,
Yeah.
it really does. I used to be like, I don't need safety glasses for a lot of my activities. But the first thing that I was like really serious about wearing eye protection and ear protection was the tile saw, because that thing,
It's so loud.
It's
even
so
using
loud.
the tile snapper too.
It's loud.
The tile snapper isn't too loud, but
It will shoot shards out.
it really does. It's so bad. It's awful. But
Yeah, the good news about tiling is if you learn how to tile, and we will teach you at some point, you can buy inexpensive tiles, put in all the sweat equity yourself, and have something really fantastically beautiful for not a lot
Well,
of
and
money.
Habitat Restore always has a bunch of
Yeah.
tiles.
Yeah.
So, like, if you need, like, a mini backsplash or...
to be beautiful really do not need to be very expensive. They do like gatekeep some things that are like a little bit more like, I don't know if high end is the right word, but like designs and stuff that are a little bit like more on trend and like a little bit more unique and stuff, that they do have those as a little bit of a higher price even though sometimes they're like exactly the same material and you can tell that they're like not any more expensive than anything else, but
I do know my twin does pottery, and some different glazes are exorbitantly more expensive than other glazes. So sometimes you might be like, oh my God, why is this tile $50 a square foot? It's because whatever minerals and like rocks and precious metals went into making that glaze for the tile was really expensive.
I think that must be the case with like Pewabic tiles.
Yeah. Plus, those are handmade in the U.S., fair labor, things like that.
They're made in Detroit, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
And then last thing I want to say about tiles is if you have tiles that you're going to install and they are not organically shaped, because some of them have like kind of waves on the front, waves on the side, and spacers and stuff like that aren't as necessary because your lines are going to look very organic. They're not going to be pinned straight. But we did run into a tile in my apartment when we were doing the backsplash, but some of the tiles are like 100% different sizes. Yeah. And there was inconsistencies around the edges and stuff. And like it was a rental, so it's not that big of a deal, but it was like a porcelain tile. They were kind of expensive.
They were
more than like the cheap like white whatever.
That's like $2 a square foot.
Yeah. But they had like a lot of inconsistencies for something that had very straight sides.
Yes.
So I was...
And that's a situation where if you find them, like, you can be checking them, make sure they're the same, and then set aside the ones that are not the right size and take them back and exchange them.
Yeah. Or, like, one row is all one size, and the next row, since you can't see it, you know, with your naked eye, only when you hold them up next to each other, the next row can be a completely different size, and you won't be able to tell. But if there's two next to each other that aren't the same size, you can definitely tell. So those are just some things to think about. But you really don't need an expensive tile or like a super high quality tile unless you really need a high quality durable tile.
Or you want marble or something like that.
So I think episode 21, we should do another cheaper quality. And you should do things
crazy
like
to think that we'll have episode 21.
Doors, windows, functional parts of a house. I think we should do that in episode 21.
Or you can email us at hthm@myhandyma'am.com and be like, should I get this cheaper quality? Or should I do this cheaper quality? Or you can comment on any of our socials at How to Handyma'am.
And we'll answer.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us today. We love spending time with you.
Yeah,
thanks for coming in.
Mwah. Mwah.